Hi there, this is Graham from dumpstertech.net, and today we're going to take a quick look at the Evoko Room Manager. This is kind of an interesting product that I don't usually do. This isn't really a consumer product, this is a business product that I'm showing off here. This Evoko device is designed for kind of high-end conference rooms, showing off, time and availability of a conference room. So as you can kind of see, I've already set this one up here. It's conference room A here. Now, one of the other things you'll see here is it's got this green light out here, and actually we're actually shooting this in the dark right now, and the reason why is because this is a very glossy screen. Now, this is running Windows CE with their custom software loaded on it. The device itself is, kind of a 7-inch screen inside this bezel. This LED green light, which changes to red when a room is occupied. It's a power over Ethernet device. It's got a single USB port for loading the firmware on there, and then uses the Ethernet to confirm. It does come with a DC adapter if you for demoing like this right now. But like I said, it is also power over Ethernet capable. So I'm actually going to log into my computer right here, which I'm sitting right next to, and I'm actually going to book a quick meeting on this room. So you can see what happens when I book a meeting here, real quick here. So, yeah, it's kind of an interesting device. Now, I have finding these retail-y isn't really going to happen. You have to go through Evoko.se's vendor list. I have found that most people will tell us that that the price on these is about $1,400, which, in my mind, is a little pricey. So, as you can imagine. So here I'm going to book a quick meeting in here. Let's book the meeting for 6:02, and we'll just call it test. Now you can actually book meetings on the device as well, and I'll show you that in a minute. So, and it checks the calendar about every minute. So I put a test meeting on there. It basically just it checks as either Exchange or Google Calendar. We're using Exchange here in this organization that I'm testing this out at. And it apparently didn't actually get the room confirmation. Like I said, instant booking is kind of interesting. Now what you can do is you can do from this interface here you can't really see this button. It says book. There we go. Book instant meeting. So I could book an instant meeting right now. If I was in the room, and you can tell it how long your meeting is going to go till. Now, I suspect it'll check the Exchange calendar right now if I tell it to book now. And unfortunately, another user's booked, so I've already booked the room, but it's still not showing that on this thing, which is kind of bugs me. I kind of had this problem the last time I was playing with this too, is it doesn't show the meetings instantly. It kind of gets confused. So here, why don't I'm actually going to go back and delete that meeting. So, or actually, I'm gonna make it upcoming. Let it kind of do that. But then I will do. Actually, I'm gonna make this my test meeting at 7 o'clock, and then I will just do a book meeting real quick here. Book meeting instantly, and I'm just gonna say I'm gonna go to meeting till 6:30. Oh, come on! I updated it. Really? You still think the room is available? Yeah, does not update. It doesn't talk to Exchange very well. This is kind of my first. Thing. I haven't seen this working. I mean, it does work, but it is really slow when you're trying to do these instant changes. It's not great for doing instant quick changes. I don't know how often it's really checking in the background or what, which kind of bums me out. So if I want to book an instant meeting, book now. Come on, there we go. See, now it's changed red because now it let me book an instant meeting. So that's kind of neat. So, and then I can end this meeting, or I can extend the meeting from here, as you can kind of see. I'm going to end this meeting. End this meeting. Okay, and so now it's actually showing my my next meeting, that test meeting that I created. I moved it to 7 o'clock, so it is actually working now. So, but normally what would happen is you would roll into the next meeting. It shows you the upcoming, and then when it becomes that meeting time, it would become red. That's kind of how that works. So, do a quick look real quick here at the configuration software, if I can get that camera to focus on here. Like I said, you set up your, you tell it, Microsoft Exchange server, things like that. You can do connectivity tests here, system properties, okay, great, email addresses, dashboard. And what you can do is you can actually configure multiple rooms in here, as well as the different, things that are in the room. which is kind of nice. So if you've got a projector, you've got screens, you can also configure number of seats that are in the room, number of people that you can have in the room, and then you export the configuration to USB. Now, the one thing I discovered here when you're setting up these configurations is you've got to tell it your Exchange server address, you've got to tell it the password, and then there's this thing called mailbox owner, which is a little weird. So if you're dealing with Exchange with room bookings or auto attendant, it's kind of weird because you don't think of who the mailbox owner is. You can just use the email address of the room itself in the mailbox. But if you had like a delegate address or something like that, you would probably want to do that delegate's email address, because what happens is when it does like book instant meetings, it will send a confirmation email to the mailbox. So that would be like the only time where that might be kind of nice with that mailbox owner. Otherwise, like I said, if you use the Exchange auto attendant, that's where I would do this. So, and you can tell, like I said, number of seats in a room, which I put 12 here, so that tells there. And then it actually shows you on the thing, number of people, 12. And I said that there's a conference phone in there, so there's a phone icon. So it kind of shows the icons of what's available up here. So yeah, it's kind of neat. And like I said, then then it burns it to a USB. I will say this, I had a problem with putting a 16 gig USB drive plugged into this device, so it didn't read it. So I actually went and put a 4 gig USB drive in here, and I can kind of just show you the back of the device here. Like I said, I don't have PoE plugged in, so I've got the EC adapter plugged in, and it's just USB, and then there's kind of a mounting thing there. Yeah, that LED is really bright. Like I said, the only reason I've got it's so bright right now is also because it's not getting washed out by my overhead lights, because I've turned off the overhead lights to keep it dark in here. Because like I said, otherwise you can kind of see there's a lot of reflection off this glossy screen. So I mean, normally these are going to be mounted on a wall outside of your doors, and like you see, you can even see me in here because that LED is so bright. It's interesting. I don't know. $1,400 is a lot of money to spend on a device like this. I mean, I think you could do some interesting things with like DIY Android devices, like some of the cheap Android tablets out there. So I'm not entirely convinced about this for a lot of business. Basically, you got to be a business with more money than brains, if you ask me. I mean, the thing that it also doesn't do is, for me, is it doesn't show you. It only shows you the next upcoming meeting. It doesn't show you anything besides that. It doesn't show you like the entire thing for a day. Now, when you're in this interface, it does kind of show you the next like few hours, so you can kind of see if there's a booked on screen. It's the conference room test I made, so you can kind of see that. But you got to go press that. It doesn't just. It only shows you on this main screen your upcoming meeting, and then it shows when it's going to start, and then it'll tell you how long it's going to be till. But that's about it, and like when it's booked. So I'm a little disappointed in that. Now there's also an admin mode. There's not much in here. I'm just going to put the key in here that I put in here. You can see my key, I don't care. You can change the room, you can change facilities, and there's like, you can have like the IT guy in here, but you can also have the facilities guy in here for who's responsible for the room, and you can do that. Upgrade, what that basically does is it's basically if you've got new configurations and you got a USB drive plug in there, that'll do the new configuration. You can reboot the device, you can log out. Not a whole lot here. And like I said, if you exit the application, it's really not that exciting. It's just Windows CE. That good old Microsoft operating system that they've kind of abandoned now for Windows Phone. I mean, you only really see CE on embedded devices like this. And then there's a little application here. And it boots up. I mean, all the device is really cool. It takes a little bit to boot. It's really neat. It's just expensive. I mean, that's, like I said, $1,400, between $14 to $16, depending on where, which vendor you're doing with it, like that. Now, Evoko claims that some of their vendors do nonprofit discounts. I work for a nonprofit, so I was hoping I would get a nonprofit discount. The vendor that I've been working through to get this demo unit hasn't been all that nice about that. Says there's no nonprofits, whatever. And that's a little bumming me out too, because quite frankly, I won't pay $1,400 for this. This is, $1,400 can be spent on a whole laptop, or, you can buy a TV screen and a wall-mounted computer. I mean, it's not practical to do something like this. But it's the first time I've actually ever had to demo conference room hardware. So it was fun to play with. Like I said, I really wish it could have been, I really wish there could have been something else to, do. I wish it would be more robust too. I mean, if $1,400, you'd think that you'd get everything in the kitchen sink. I mean, this is only like a 7-inch screen, with a lot of bezel, at least, over an inch of bezel, around the screen. It's pretty, it's pretty plain for what it is. You'd think if you're going to spend $1,400, you'd get like full conferencing here. You might even be able to get to log into it, and that's that little icon there that you saw there is, when it's checking the Exchange server is updating. But yeah, it's just too much money for very little product. So, yeah. I think it's cool though. I mean, well, the one thing I'm going to try to figure out is if I can port the software to another Windows CE device, if that's even possible. You know, not that I'm like going to steal the software and all that. I just am curious, like how well this software moves if you want to try different hardware. So yeah. So that's kind of my look at the Evoko Room Manager meeting. So sorry if I talk a little fast. My battery's about to die on my camera. So thanks again for everybody for watching. And yeah, leave your comments.